How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I'm here to do a chat topic video, a topic that was introduced by my good friend Bob Harrison, Robert Harrison 2.0, who most of us know as Bob of the North. And he's one of my fellow grumpy old gentlemen on film. And he's introduced a topic which is pretty interesting. Let's see if I can get this stated exactly as he put it. When was the first time that we were aware of or totally impressed by cinematography in a film? Okay. Now, Bob and I are the same age. We go back a very long way, movies back in the 50s and the 60s. So I think I want to talk about this two different films. One when I was very, very young, before I had any idea what cinematography was, never even heard the word. And then years later, when I was a little bit more understanding of what it takes to make a movie and what a cinematographer actually did. So let me go back to the year 1961 when I was 10 years old. I went to the theater to see this amazing film, The Innocence. Okay. Now, this is a film that I've talked about many, many times because it's on my top 10 list of favorite films of any type, but all certainly horror films. Directed by Jack Clayton, and the cinematography was by Freddie Francis, a very well-known name to horror fans. He went on to do a lot of films for the Hammer Studios. Um, this is in black and white, CinemaScope, and I don't know how to put it except that there were images in this film that stayed with me forever. Things that just never got out of my head. I remember after I saw this, um, and I saw it in a theater, of course, it wasn't on television. I saw this, and then for several days I was just walking around at school or whatever, and I was these images of the ghost of the woman who was standing out by the lake, things like that. The apparition of Peter Wingard's face sort of drifting up to the glass and frightening Deborah Carr, things like that. That gorgeous black and white, shadowy, misty gray uh, photography. It stayed with me forever. I saw this film when it first came out, and I don't think I saw it again, oh wow, maybe until 10 or 15 years later. I'm sure I saw it on television a couple of times down the road, and then, of course, eventually got this wonderful Criterion DVD. But that was the first time that I was just overwhelmed by a movie. And I'd seen a lot of movies by then. I started seeing films in 1956, Ten Commandments, things like that. So there were a lot of things that really were impressive. But this is the one that actually just sort of pressed a button in my head and never left me. So that's where it all started for me. Now, many years later, when I was in my 20s, the film that finally, when I think that well, just let me show you. Days of Heaven, Terrence Malick. Cinematography by, let's see, what is this guy's name? Nestor Almendros. Nestor Almendros, with additional photography by Haskell Wexler. So I'm not sure exactly how much was one or the other. I need to watch the commentary and find out. But this movie is so beautiful, so impressive, and will also never leave your brain once you see it. This film is it's just about all cinematography. It's all imagery. The story, yeah, good story. I like the actors, Richard Gere, Brooke Adams, cool people that are in it. But you don't even need the story. You just have the look of the film. I mean, whoever thought that a wheat field blowing in the breeze could be so entrancing? And that's just what this film is. So very happy to have this on Blu-ray. I went to see this in 1978 when it came out, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. So I think that was the first time that I began to understand um, just what kind of artistry it takes to make such a great film, and that was a good example of that. Another film that came out that year, which I also was very moved by it, the way it looked, was Woody Allen's Interiors. I don't know who shot that film. I need to take a look. But of course, it's very different than Days of Heaven. But that was another one that stood out for me as a beautifully shot picture. So I guess that's all I want to say. Let me know what you think about the Innocence or Days of Heaven. And as always, comments are welcome. If anybody else wants to join in on this, we've had about 3 or 4 people doing it so far, and been really interesting. So if you want to participate, please jump in. Okay. Thanks a lot, folks. Take care.